Welcome back to Whiz Quiz. We are now at the final round. Here I have Pascal High School.
Alongside with Northside High School.
Only one team can be named champion. So,
let's play Whiz Quiz!
Workout.
Welcome to the finals. Is everybody ready?
It's time to play the sport of knowledge. Welcome to the Fort Worth ISD Whiz Quiz.
That is correct.
Welcome to the Fort Worth ISD Whiz Quiz High School Finals. I'm Boston Martinez.
And I'm Sophia Wu. And set to face off for the championship are Pascal and Northside.
Still rocking in between rounds, the Pascal Jazz Ensemble won. Did a great job, guys. And now the action really kicks in.
So let's get to it. Here's WFAA anchor Mark Istuk to take us to round one. Mark?
Thank you, guys, and thanks for your hard work over there. You're doing wonderfully. And as you mentioned, I'm the anchor of WFAA Daybreak, which runs from 4:30 to 7 every morning, which means my bedtime, it's about an hour ago. But I don't have to work tomorrow, so that means I get to stay up late with you guys, and I could not think of a better place to be than here with all of our amazing Whiz Quiz competitors. So as I thank you folks, the parents, educators in the audience, students, and participants tonight for being here, I want to also congratulate our teams from Northside High School and Pascal High School on making it to the finals. Guys, you've earned it. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now, we met these two teams earlier. I want a chance for them to introduce themselves again, so I'll start screen left, the team on my right, Pascal High School, if you want to begin at the end and work your way this way.
I'm Sabrina Stewart. I'm Elise Stewart.
I'm Jonathan Feldman.
I'm Jesse Durham.
Guys, welcome. Northside.
I'm Mary Hernandez. No technical difficulties.
Well done. He figured it out, the mic. Good job.
Ta-da! I'm Adam Rubalcava.
I'm Jenny Garcia Rios.
I'm Nathan Flores.
Guys, welcome. And why don't we take this opportunity to check your buzzers real quickly. Okay, again, up here on the stage with me, our moderator, Fort Worth ISD's Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Marcy Sorensen. And our score and timekeeper, the Director of Gifted Talented Services, and our Whiz Quiz Director, Michael Fluchet. So again, to explain the points, we begin with our first round. In that round are 10 questions. Each question is worth 10 points. However, if you buzz in early, you are able to get 5 extra bonus points, making it worth 15 points, or if you buzz in early and get it incorrect, you will lose 5 points. The team that gets the bonus, or the toss-up question rather, correct, has an opportunity to answer 3 toss-up questions. Each one of those questions is worth 10 points. Teams, are you ready? Okay, here we go for our finals. Our first toss-up question for both teams. In a 2015 viral video, an olive Ridley sea turtle was shown traumatized by one of these items, the oldest known examples of which are 5,500 years old. In 2018, Seattle became the first major city to ban one variety of these items. Pascal.
Straws.
That is correct. And that is for 15 points as well. So your first bonus question. For 4 months at the end of 2021, this archipelago's island, La Palma, dealt with an eruption at the Cumbre Vieja volcanic ridge. For 10 points each, La Palma is the 5th largest of this group of 8 Spanish islands off the coast of Morocco. Its name means Island of the Dogs, and a small perching bird is named for it.
I defer to Jesse.
Canary Islands.
Canary is correct. The next question. Bonus question. Santa Cruz, the capital of the Canary Islands, is located on this largest island of the group. In 1977, this island was the site of history's worst aviation disaster when 2 747s collided.
San Jose, final answer?
Tenerife is the answer we were looking for. Northeast of Tenerife is the island Lanzarote, which is the setting for the desert world of Ferrex in this Disney Plus series named for its Diego Luna portrayed title character.
Andor, final answer.
Andor is correct. Our second toss-up of this round is for both teams. One of the dyes in M&Ms of this color blocks inflammation in patients with traumatic spinal cord injuries. In 2018, a plant biologist in Japan used genetic modifications to create a chrysanthemum with this true color. Out of 280,000 flowering plant species on Earth, less than 10% make flowers of this color. Methane absorbs red light and reflects this color, giving cerulean tones. Pascal?
Blue.
Blue is correct. For 10 points. Here's your first bonus question. The Washington Post published a 1957 photo showing 14-year-old Jerry Jones among a group harassing 6 black students attempting to desegregate their school. For 10 points each, Jones is one of 32 owners of franchises in this league whose Rooney Rule attempts to reduce the lack of diversity among its head coaches.
NFL, final answer.
Correct. Your second bonus question. In 1957, Jones was a student in a high school in the northern portion of this city, which is now home to the Bill Clinton Presidential Library.
Little Rock, final answer.
Little Rock is correct. Your third bonus, Pascal. The 9 students at Little Rock's Central High School attempting to desegregate it feared for their lives. This president ordered soldiers from the Army's 101st Airborne to protect them.
Eisenhower, final answer.
Eisenhower is correct. Moving to our third toss-up question for both teams. In an end credit scene, this character gives a speech at the United Nations explicitly modeled after Patrice Lumumba. This character's rival plans to steal back artifacts from the Louvre after a career in the Navy SEALs. That film ends with these two characters battling before Black Panther is correct, and that is worth 15 points. Your first bonus question, Pascal. Professor Anne Boyd Rue wrote that this novel is the most influential book by an American woman. For 10 points, what is this novel in which Louisa May Alcott portrays herself as Jo March?
Little Women, final answer.
Correct. After her father is wounded in the Civil War, Jo takes this action to earn $25, her contribution to bringing him home.
She donates her hair, final answer.
Sells her hair. Yes, we'll accept that. The last bonus question, Pascal. The first part of Little Women spans approximately 1 year, opening and closing during this holiday season.
Christmas, final answer.
Correct. Our fourth toss-up question in this first round for both teams. A coast in England named for this time period was where early paleontologist Mary Anning did most of her work. In a recent movie from a film franchise with this word in its titles, Owen Grady is reunited with the Velociraptor Blue. Northside.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic is correct. Your first bonus question, and that was for 10 points, I believe? Yes. Your first bonus question, this artist's portrayal of Jean-Michel Basquiat was part of his Oxidation series in which he used urine to add distinctive features to his work. For 10 points each, this pop artist's Basquiat portrait sold at auction for $40 million. He's also known for his Campbell's soup cans.
Andy Warhol, final answer.
Andy Warhol is correct. Warhol's blue portrait of this actress sold for $195 million. She was depicted by Ana de Armas in the 2022 movie Blonde.
Marilyn Monroe, final answer.
Correct. Photographer Nat Finkelstein has claimed credit for the expression often misattributed to Warhol, in which it is claimed that everyone will be famous for this short amount of time. Captain.
15 minutes, final answer.
That is correct. Our fifth toss-up question of this round for both teams. In one novel written in this language, townspeople enjoy Melquiade's display of magnets and ice, a magical realist story. Pascal.
Spanish.
Spanish is correct for 15 points. Your first bonus question. In 2020, 7 of these 19th century garments were discovered in an abandoned mine shaft near Yuma, Arizona. For 10 points each, made of diagonal weave cotton twill fabric, these work pants are indigo dyed and copper riveted.
Jeans, final answer.
Blue jeans, yes. The blue jeans that were found included 2 pairs made by the namesake company of this man, who was the first to produce blue jeans.
Levi, final answer. Levi Strauss, final answer.
Strauss is correct. Levi Strauss moved from New York to California in 1854, 5 years after the rush of prospectors. Appropriately, this NFL team's stadium is sponsored by the Levi's brand.
49ers, final answer.
49ers is correct. Now to our 6th toss-up question for both teams. A scene from the 2022 Father of the Bride reboot is set at Maximo Gomez Park in Miami, where locals meet to engage in a leisure activity with these objects, sometimes called bones. One dramatic Pascal.
Dice.
That is incorrect. One dramatic scene in the movie V for Vendetta involved 22,000 of these props, whose name is often used to designate a chain reaction effect. A trick-based game using these objects is named for the number of points available, 42. For 10 points, what are the rectangular tiles often used in toppling demonstrations? North side?
Dominoes.
Dominoes is correct. For 10 points, moving on to our bonus questions. Brainiac, Adventures in the Curious, Competitive, Compulsive World of Trivia Buffs, which I imagine you have all read, was the first published work by this former Quiz Bowl player. For 10 points each, who is this former NAQT editor who became the permanent co-host of Jeopardy in 2021?
Defertinary.
Alex Kohler.
Ken Jennings is the answer.
Okay.
Your second bonus question, Jennings' latest book is Planet Funny, a history of this entertainment form dating from ancient Sumeria to modern Facebook memes.
Captain.
No answer.
The answer is comedy. The third toss-up question. In 2004, Jennings was asked by Democrats to consider a run for Senate in this state against Bob Bennett. The seat is currently held by Republican Mike Lee, who, like Jennings, attended Brigham Young University.
Ohio, final answer.
Utah is the correct answer. Moving on to our 7th toss-up question of this round for both teams. After dropping out of college, this character meets Dan Cody on Little Girl Bay and travels with him to the Barbary Coast. 10 years later, he falls in love with a girl from Louisville, Kentucky. After serving in World War I, he buys a 12-bedroom home in Long Island's New Money, West. Pascal? Gatsby is correct for 15. Your first bonus question. The 2022 album Un Verano Sin Ti includes a track called El Apagón for 10 points each. The track and album are by a rapper who performs under this name. He's behind the earlier track, Soy Pure, and is featured on Cardi B's hit, I Like It. Bad Bunny is correct. Bad Bunny is from this island that was hit by Hurricane Fiona in 2022. In 2017, it was devastated by Hurricane Maria, which left some residents without power for 11 months. El Apagón translates as the blackout. That is correct. Your third and final bonus question of this round. Following Maria, FEMA provided more than 30,000 of these large blue plastic covers. These distinctive roof replacements became a symbol of the shortcomings of American efforts to provide support for Puerto Rico's recovery. TARPS is correct. The 8th toss-up question for both teams. The Arditi del Popolo, or the People's Daring Ones, were organized in 1921 to oppose this political philosophy. Elected Prime Minister in 2022, Giorgia Meloni is the leader of Fratelli d'Italia, which has been accused of following this philosophy. Pascal. Fascism is correct for 15. Your bonus questions. In 2019, John Goodenough of the University of Texas became the oldest ever winner of a Nobel Prize. For 10 points each, Goodenough won the prize in chemistry for his work on one type of these sources of power in electrical devices. Batteries, final answer. Batteries, correct. Goodenough discovered certain batteries can be improved by using cobalt dioxide at these positive terminals. Negative terminals are called anodes. Cathodes is correct. The prize-earning batteries are named for this metallic element's ions used along with carbon at its anode. Lithium is correct. Our ninth toss-up of this round for both teams. While studying plumes in the Amazon River, a University of Georgia team surprisingly discovered these cnidarians over a Delaware-sized area, capable of reproducing both sexually and asexually. Most of these anthozoans secrete calcium carbonate to form a skeleton. In response to environmental stress, these polyps may expel algae in a process called bleaching. For 10 points, Pascal?
Coral.
Coral is correct. First bonus question for you, Pascal. Danish researchers are concerned over the excess production of a certain greenhouse gas produced on South Georgia Island. For 10 points each, South Georgia is located east of both the Drake Passage and the Falklands in the southern part of this ocean. Atlantic is correct. South Georgia is home to seals and the king species of this flightless bird.
Penguin, yes. Penguin.
Penguin is correct. The guano of king penguins contains voluminous amounts of this greenhouse molecule, which is 300 times more polluting than carbon dioxide. It's also known as laughing gas.
It's nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, final answer.
Yeah, nitrous oxide.
No, it's a different.
Oh, it's a different.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Wrong. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Moving on to our 10th and final toss-up question of this round for both teams. A World War II B-17 named My Gal Sal was recovered from this North American island. After the capitulation of King Christian X, the U.S. took over its defense.
Greenland.
Greenland is correct for 15 points. North side, your first bonus question. Steven Spielberg added a new character, Doc's widow Valentina, to his 2021 version of this film for 10 points each. Choreographer Jerome Robbins won a Best Director Oscar for the 1961 film version of this story, depicting the rivalry of the Jets and the Sharks.
West Side Story, final answer.
That is correct. West Side Story was inspired by this William Shakespeare play featuring the rivalry of the Montagues and the Capulets.
Romeo and Juliet, final answer.
Wherefore art thou? You are correct. Final bonus question and last question of this round. This actress played both Anita in the original 1961 film and Valentina in the 2021 version.
Captain?
No answer.
Rita Moreno. And that concludes our first round finals matchup between Pascal High School and Northside High School. Let's hear it for both of the teams. As we take a moment to tally the points from this round, we will send it back to you guys up front.
Very impressive. Also very impressive, the real world learning that's happening tonight.
If you're just joining us, this live production is brought to you by students in Southwest High School's Gold Seal Advanced Media Program, taught by Mrs. Darcy McCready.
The great Mrs. McCready. You know, everyone learns something at Whiz Quiz. Stick around and you'll learn even more.
As strange as it may sound to some, teaching is my dream job. Unfortunately, as a K-8 student, I hated school. Mom would tell me that school and life were filled with problems, but that every problem was an opportunity to find a solution. I made it through high school with no plans for college. However, something kept tugging at me. Oh, that's right. My ace in the hole, Erletta Louise Luke Smith. My single mom. extraordinaire. She reminded me that I could do whatever I put my heart and mind to, that whatever the issue was, it was just a problem to be solved. Are you wondering what the problem was? Dyslexia with a side of auditory processing disorder. I teach so that every one of my students has at least one teacher who will remind them that they are capable of whatever they put their minds to. I teach to make sure students know that it's okay to color outside the lines, to sing to their own tune, and to learn at their own pace.
One more. Today's our third day of 4 here at SS Dillo Elementary School with Fort Worth ISD and the Challenge of Tarrant County to build a brand new playground. And you can flip the bolt whatever side works best for you. So all of our playgrounds are 100% unique, designed by the kids of the communities.
This is community building at its best. And I want to thank everyone that was involved. All the people behind me sweated out here for 4 days.
You know, play is where we plan our lives. And the children of this community are going to have the opportunity to spend lots of time together with parents and teachers planning their tomorrow.
It changes colors when you spin it.
This is amazing for our kids, and more than amazing for our kids, it's amazing for our teachers because kids will have fun out here and it makes it a more enjoyable experience to be back in the classroom.
3, 2, 1.
I had an amazing elementary art teacher, Mrs. Amy Bartell, and a fabulous 5th grade teacher, Mr. Lynn Wood. I may not remember every detail of my 5th grade year, but one thing I did know, these two adults ever so delicately pointed me in the direction of the arts. Someday, somehow, I wanted to be that kind of inspiration. And I want to leave all of you with this last quote that I like to share with my students. The purpose of art is not to produce a product. The purpose of art is to produce thinking. The secret is not the mechanics or the technical skill that creates the art, but the process of introspection and different levels of contemplation that generate it. Once you embrace this process, your creative potential is limitless.
That's the Pascal Jazz Ensemble, one led tonight by Pascal's director. Director of Bands, Mr. Lance Walker. Let's give him a hand, shall we?
Welcome back to Whiz Quiz, the sport of knowledge. Now it's time for some fun with the audience.
Let's turn it over to our friend Leslie Gonzalez for Cue the drum roll. Are you smarter than a Whiz Quizzer? Leslie, looks like you have some eager contestants ready to go.
Thank you, Boston. What's your name?
Troy.
And who are you here supporting?
Pascal High School.
Go Pascal! Let's look at your question. The Twins are a Major League Baseball team in this U.S. state.
Minnesota.
Let's see if you're correct. And that is right. You get a F. You're welcome. What's your name?
Josh.
That's a nice name.
Thanks.
Who are you supporting?
TCU?
Let's give it up for TCU.
After you say, thank you, Leslie, I think it's a great job, I'm going to say.
Let's look at your question. Name this animal, which appears crossed with an antelope in the mythical jackalope.
Jackrabbit?
Let's look, see if you're right. That is correct. And you get FWIST. And what's your name?
My name is Raina.
And who are you here supporting?
Pascal and my Southwest kids.
Let's look at your question. This city, which is nicknamed Music City due to its role in the country music industry, is on the Cumberland River.
Nashville?
Let's see if you're right. Yes, you are correct. And you get a gift bag full with FW ISD merch.
Awesome. Thank you, sweetie.
Weren't they fun, guys?
Thank you, Leslie, and audience.
It's great seeing even the principal of Pascal joining in on the fun. Okay, it's the home stretch. Last round.
Mark, take us to round 2.
And let's go. Let's let the teams back on the stage. Let's give them a hand, audience.
Take it away, Mark.
Thank you, guys. Teams, welcome back. I want to say hello to our new members on the Pascal side of the stage. If you'd like to introduce yourself, please.
Caden Harmon. Jude White.
Jonathan Feldman.
Jesse Durham.
Well, we'll let you guys introduce yourselves again, too, then.
No technical issues here. Neri Hernandez.
I'm Adam Rubalcava.
I'm Jenny Garcia Rios.
I'm Nathan Flores.
Okay, let's update you guys on the score right now. We have, with 280 points, Pascal is our leader. Northside has 85 points. As we get set to kick off our second round, teams, are you ready? Okay, our first bonus question of this round, or toss-up question rather, of this round for both teams. This country's southern city of Phan Thiet is a traditional home of fish sauce manufacturing, while in the north of this country, north side.
Vietnam.
Vietnam is correct for 15 points. Your first bonus for 10 points each. Answer the following about the immortal life of Henrietta Lacks. Rebecca Skloot's book tells the story of the woman who, in 1951, sought treatment for cervical cancer at this Baltimore University. Doctors took a piece of her tumor without permission and created the never-dying HeLa cell line.
John Hopkins, final answer.
Unfortunately, the correct answer is Johns Hopkins. Johns Hopkins is the right answer. HeLa cells were used by Jonas Salk in 1955 to create a vaccine for this viral disease, some cases of which required an iron lung.
Polio, final answer.
Polio is correct. HeLa cells were also used to create this vaccine against the human papillomavirus that can lead to various cancers. This vaccine was FDA approved in 2014 and is recommended for both males and females.
Defer to Neri.
HPV vaccine?
We needed the brand name, which was Gardasil.
Okay. I can roll with that.
Moving to our second toss-up question of this round for both teams. This mathematical idea was developed by the Mayans around the time of Christ, in India 500 years later, and in Europe 700 years after that. L'Hopital's rule is used to solve limits involving Pascal.
Indeterminate.
That is not the correct answer. L'Hopital's rule is used to solve limits involving the ratio of this quantity over itself. A matrix is invertible if and only if its determinant is not equal to this value. Never allowable in the denominator of a fraction. For 10 points, what is this number that is the subject of Robert Kaplan's book, The Nothing That Is? Yes, north side.
Infinity?
No, the correct answer is 0. Moving to our third bonus question for both teams, toss-up rather, for both teams. A 2021 Finola Austin novel reimagines the demise of all the members of this family before the age of 40. An opium addict in this family named Branwell died at age 31. His sister Anne died the same year after completing the novel The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. The two other sisters completed the novels, one concerning Mr. Rochester's governess, The other, the Earnshaw family's foster son, Heathcliff. Pascal.
The Brontes.
Yes. Your first bonus question is, the 500-year history of these storms in America is the subject of the book A Furious Sky by Eric Dolan. For 10 points, what are these Atlantic Ocean storms that included Andrew in 1992 and Sandy in 2012?
Hurricanes, final answer.
Hurricanes is correct. Dolan's survey begins in 1502 when a hurricane off the coast of Hispaniola sank 24 of these ships from the fourth voyage of this explorer.
Columbus, final answer.
That is correct. A century later, another hurricane caused the collapse of this first English settlement in Virginia.
Jamestown, final answer.
Correct. Our fourth toss-up question of this round for both teams. In 2021, artificial intelligence completed a symphony left unfinished at this composer's 1827 death. By 1812, he'd completed 6 symphonies, and that year wrote an unsent letter to his immortal beloved. He moved to study in Vienna before writing the Moonlight Sonata. Pascal? Beethoven is correct. For 10 points, answer the following about the book, The Contagion of Liberty, written by former Quiz Bowl player Andy Wehrman. The book is set during this conflict, which saw George Washington lead the Continental Army.
Revolutionary War, final answer.
Could you be more specific?
The War for American Independence, final answer.
We'll go ahead and count it. The American Revolution is what.
Oh.
It's fine.
The American Revolution began during an epidemic of this disease that produces small reddish lesions. It was eradicated in 1980.
Smallpox, final answer.
Smallpox is correct. In contrast to some modern citizens, colonists demanded access to this protective medical procedure invented in 1796 that was introduced by African slaves.
Inoculation, final answer.
Yeah, that or vaccination would have been acceptable. Correct. Moving to our fifth toss-up question of this round for both teams. In a Terminello versus Chicago dissent, a Supreme Court judge with this last name said the Constitution is not a suicide pact. That justice later served as an American prosecutor at Nuremberg. A later judge with this last name, the only Supreme Court justice who was a public defender, replaced Stephen Breyer. For 10 points, give this name shared by Associate Justices Robert H. and Ketanji Brown as Northside.
Jackson?
Jackson is correct. For 10 points. Moving to the bonus questions. In August 2022, for Northside, author Salman Rushdie was stabbed multiple times during a public lecture. For 10 points each, Rushdie had been under Rushdie had been under threat since the 1988 publication of this novel, centering on the 2 Indian Muslim actors, Gibreel Farishta and Saladin Chamcha. The book is named for a small controversial portion of the Quran.
Deferred.
The Satanic Verses.
That's correct. Your second bonus question, Northside, in response to the publication of the Satanic Verses, Ayatollah Khomeini, the supreme leader of this nation, offered a $3 million bounty for Rushdie's murder. In 2017, a new supreme leader reaffirmed that fatwa.
Iran, final answer.
Iran is correct. In 1991, Hitoshi Igarashi, the translator of the Satanic Verses into this language, was stabbed to death. 10 days before that incident, the Italian translator survived a stabbing.
Japanese, final answer.
Japanese is correct. Our sixth toss-up of this round for both teams. Jim Williams' shooting of Danny Hansford occurred in this city's Mercer House and is depicted in the book Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. This city's Chippewa Square was the site of the bus stop scene from Forrest Gump. The city's downtown largely remains unchanged from a plan laid out by James Oglethorpe. According to legend, due to its beauty, the city was spared destruction in 1864 by William T. Sherman at the end of his march to the sea. Pascal.
Savannah.
Savannah is correct. Moving to your bonus questions now. For 10 points each, answer the following about the 2016 film Denial. The film's title refers to the denial of this historical event undertaken by the German government during World War II. During this event, approximately 6.5 million Jews were murdered.
The Holocaust.
The Holocaust is correct. The drama of the film revolves around a trial in this city after David Irving sues Deborah Lipstadt over the book Denying the Holocaust. This capital city is home of the publisher Penguin Books.
London, final answer.
London is correct. In order to dispute Irving's false claims, Lipstadt and her legal team visit this site in southwestern Poland, where they examine the ruins of crematoria used for the Holocaust.
Auschwitz, final answer.
Auschwitz-Birkenau is correct. Our seventh toss-up of this round for both teams. Daniel James Brown's The Boys in the Boat follows members of this school's crew team who won gold at the 1936 Olympics. Less than a mile away, a version of Barnett Newman's broken obelisk is found in the school's Central Plaza, Red Square. From the square past Drumheller Fountain are buildings named for Paul Allen and Bill Gates, founders of Microsoft. Just past the Computer Science Centers are Husky Stadium and a view of Mount Rainier. For 10 points, Pascal.
University of Washington.
That is correct. Your first bonus question. In 1989, a plaque was made to commemorate the 1889 invention of margarita pizza. For 10 points each, answer the following about an apocryphal origin story. This is not sponsored by Pizza Snob. I just want you to know that up front. The plaque was placed on the wall at Pizzeria Brandy in this southern Italian city. Until 1861, the city was the capital of the Kingdom of Two Sicilies. Naples is correct. According to the story, the colors of the pizza's components, cheese, tomato sauce, and basil, patriotically represent the three colors of this object.
The Italian flag, final answer.
Yes, that's correct. After receiving an 1889 letter that the wife of the first king of unified Italy loved the pizza, the pizzeria named it for her. His grandson of the same name was the last king of Italy.
Victor Emmanuel? Just give me something. Emmanuel, final answer.
Umberto.
Did you say that?
Moving on to our eighth toss-up question of this round for both teams. This country's second largest city was once known as Batmania due to being founded by John Batman. Noir-le-Gabernmong is the home of this country's oldest rock art. Myths from this country often focus on a creator god named Bayami as a rainbow serpent. Uluru is the subject of many Dreamtime stories from this country's Aborigines. Pascal.
Australia.
Australia is correct. Your first bonus question. In 1777, the Alawite Sultan opened his ports to American ships, and his nation became the first to recognize the newly independent United States. For 10 points each, Mohammed III was leader of this nation located directly across the Strait of Gibraltar from Spain.
Morocco, final answer.
Morocco is correct. The American legation, built in 1821 in this Moroccan port city, is the only national historical landmark outside of the United States.
Tangier, final answer.
Tangier is correct. Tangier was the site of the tumultuous DeLong affair, during which the American consul arrested two Confederates and argued with Moroccan officials to keep custody of his prisoners. Ultimately, this American president recalled the consul in 1862 to avoid future diplomatic headaches.
Lincoln, final answer.
Lincoln is correct. Our ninth toss-up question of this round for both teams. A Velvet version of This Man titles a Casey Musgrave song about looking for something classic, and Queen's Crazy Little Thing Called Love was written in tribute to him. This man's best-selling single was a cover of a Big Mama Thornton song sampled by Doja Cat in Vegas. This man sang, "We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out," in his song Suspicious Minds. For 10 points, name this king of rock and roll. Who was the Pascal?
Elvis Presley.
That is correct. Your first bonus question. Arslan Gooni, a 71-year-old volunteer, was arrested and charged with a felony after using a Sharpie to draw lines for a court in Denver. Oh, sorry. I'm waiting on your answer. In his community, Gooni is known as the mayor of this sport that combines aspects of tennis, badminton, and ping pong.
Squash, final answer.
After all that buildup, pickleball. Pickleball was created in 1965 by children on Bainbridge Island, west of Puget Sound, in this state.
New York, final answer.
Washington. Pickleball rules prohibit a shot of this type from within 7 feet of the net. John McEnroe was a master of this shot in tennis, and Karch Karai is a legend in a different sport named for this shot.
Spike, final answer.
Volley is what we're looking for. Our 10th and final question of this final round, a toss-up for both teams. A settlement has existed for more than 1,500 years at this site of this city, which is home to a cathedral and monument dedicated to St. Volodymyr, a grand prince of this palace in the 10th and 11th centuries. In 1941, Nazi German troops massacred more than 30,000 Jews at Babin Yar in this capital city on the Dnieper River.
Kiev.
Kyiv is the right answer, Northside. Your first bonus question. Brad Pitt earned an Emmy nomination for his performance as this man on Saturday Night Live. For 10 points each, after 38 years as the head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, this doctor announced he will step down.
Deferred and Airy.
Anthony Fauci.
That is correct. Your next bonus question. In 2008, Fauci was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom for his work with PEPFAR, a government initiative to address the global epidemic of this disease.
Malaria, final answer.
HIV or AIDS is the correct answer. And the last bonus question of this final round. For Northside, Fauci began his tenure with the NIAID in 1984 under the administration of this former California governor. Both this president and Fauci have been criticized for their early inaction during the AIDS crisis.
Deferred and Airy.
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan is correct.
Yeah.
And that wraps up our final round. Let's hear it for both Pascal and Northside. While we take a moment to tally up the votes and give you your finals winner, I'll send it back to you guys.
Thanks, Mark. Time's out of the scores.
When we come back, we'll announce the Whiz Quiz champions.
So, don't go anywhere.
On the first day of school, when you enter my 5th grade science lab, each seat has a blank sheet of paper. Among all the other tasks, my students are asked to draw a picture of a scientist. I do not come to school to build a better mathematician or scientist. I do, however, hope to inspire my students to become better people. In the classroom, the teacher can cultivate what is lacking in the world. Kindness, courage, inclusion, struggle, and failure all have a place in my classroom. Over the year, I will introduce my students to subjects, careers, and scientists that look like them, have interests like them, and who came from economic and familial situations like them. At the end of the year, on the last day, I ask my students to once again draw a scientist. Year after year, without fail, the final drawing much more closely resembles the student. From skin color to hairstyle, from eye color to clothing, they are much more represented and present in their new picture. Representation matters. I genuinely believe that if they can see it, they can be it. And those are the moments that I teach for.
I'm excited. It's been a long time coming.
Good, excited.
My kids and my family are out there, so I'm just a little nervous.
30 years later. It's been a long time. I've been waiting.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm actually graduated today.
Tonight we are here to honor the 59 graduates in our new Fort Worth ISD Fresh Start Diploma Program.
I was supposed to graduate in 2006, but it took me 34 years, and I got it. I promised my granny I would, and I got it.
There's a new way for former students to earn their high school diplomas, even if it's been many years since they've been in school.
If you have enough credits and meet a second requirement, then you can be eligible for our Fresh Start Diploma program.
Bethany Russell.
Today, I stand before you all at the age of 50, well, 51 now, receiving my high school diploma.
Anita Lachey Williams.
There is a way you can follow your path, you can move forward, you can do your goals, your dreams. You know, you just take it one step at a time, you be patient, just make sure you get to the finish line. That's exactly what I've been doing. I know you have family and friends that are very proud of you, and they're here with you.
Jalecia Wingfield.
We're so proud of our mom for her graduating high school and getting her diploma, even if it was late.
Boom. Boom. Now you got it down. Yeah, now I'm blessed.
Don't give up.
We congratulate all of you for trying and for accomplishing your goals. You have now earned your high school diploma. Thank you very much. We're proud of you.
Oh, Mama's angels, my baby girl. Now I'm able to move forward, you know, because of y'all, because of the Fresh Start program. Oh, I love you, baby. Oh, baby, don't cry.
Thanks, Ben. And guess what?
What?
The scores are in.
Let's get right to Marcus took Michael Luche and
Dr. Marcy Sorensen.
Mark.
Thank you very much for that, guys. This is the moment we've been waiting for, but I'm going to be like American Idol. I'm just going to draw it out and make it as dramatic as possible. Before we announce our winner this evening, I want to just, again, honor the effort by both of the teams in getting to this point. And Michael Flouché, you've seen a lot of Whiz Quiz competitions over the years. You and I have talked before about just how much fun it is to participate in these, and just, again, how humbling it is to see how smart and how quick on the buzzer these kids are. It feels like every year we're impressed by the talent on the stage.
Absolutely. I really want to compliment not only these players who have to put a lot of work in, we're talking practices, a lot of effort there, and also the coaches who work really hard to make those practices happen, building that into the day. They're all going above and beyond, and I think you could see the product of their hard work here tonight.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And Dr. Sorensen, I know my own experience at the middle school level in Whiz Quiz was one of my favorite times in my young academic career. And I know this is an experience that these kids will take with them as they move forward into college, adulthood, and beyond.
Yes, absolutely. And so one of the things that I was saying is that it's not only their brilliance that shows through, but their humanity. As they work as a team, they work collaboratively. It's just incredible to see who they are shine through as they answer the questions. But I also want to thank the parents. As you support your young people as they shine and as they grow and they go through all of this work, we couldn't do it without your support of your kids. And so thank you so much. I want to thank the principals and all the support that you give your kids as well. So thank you, coaches. And thank you, young people, for being the amazing humans that you are.
Let me just, for one, we can take a moment to acknowledge that. I want to follow up on what you just said, because as a Fort Worth ISD parent and as a kid who grew up going to Fort Worth ISD public schools, it's almost emotional for me to think about the sacrifice of so many of the adults, the teachers, the educators who were instrumental in my education and are continuing to do so today. It is a thankless job, and it has been an especially thankless job over the past couple of years. So an extra special big thank you for all the effort that just pours into the lives of these kids and our community here in Fort Worth. So without further ado, the winner of the 2022 Whiz Quiz Finals is, I feel like I'm asking one of my own trivia questions, a final score of 485 to 180.
475.
475 to 180. Congratulations, Pascal High School. And Northside, our runners-up. So a great performance tonight by both of these teams, impressive as always, and a well-spent time up on the stage. So guys, congratulations. As I said it, back to you.
Congratulations to the new champions for 2022 Whiz Quiz, Pascal.
Both teams did a great job. It's been a great night.
From all of us at 4th ISD, thank you for supporting our students. Follow us on all of our social media.
And one more thank you to Pizza Snob for providing dinner for the crew.
Ridiculously good. Thank you, Pizza Snob.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.